This corner of North London is full of multi-million-pound properties, and you don't have to be part of this housing elite to appreciate that the price of stamp duty is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Now, I'm about to meet a family who are getting around this problem by taking on a massive renovation project. Not only are they digging down into the basement, but they're also going to extend up into the loft. Do you want a bigger house?
That is bloody huge.
Well, we're following a group of people as they transform their damp basements and disused lofts.
I'm going to get a happy Lauren out of this, and a happy Lauren makes me happy.
Into what they hope will become ultimate living spaces.
I don't like to say he doesn't have a clue, but I think that's the expression.
And after all the trials and tribulations, will their new homes be everything they dreamed of?
I think it's quite stunning, quite eye-catching, quite wow.
It's horrible.
This is an affluent area of Enfield in North London, and foreign exchange expert Andy, his wife Carol, and their 3 kids Eleanor, Matthew and James live here in this house that they bought for £1.5 million. It might seem like they have tons of space, but they've decided to splash out and build a huge gym and cinema underground and go up into their loft to create a luxurious master ensuite.
If I'm up that high, then if the kids want me, I can pretend I'm not here. It would be nice to have a drawbridge to sort of like just escape completely away from them, but I don't think that will happen, you know.
So Mum's after some peace and quiet, and she's also hoping to tempt her husband away from his office.
Cinema room, your gym, the loft.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't want to go away so much.
Don't want to go away. You've got to work.
Yeah, somebody has to work to pay for the butt, pay for all this. All right, I realise that.
That's right. The money's got to come from somewhere.
But I love you.
You can't get carried away.
Yes, but Andy brings out the pocket and sort of says like, "It's empty, Carol.
Yeah.
Stop."
Yeah.
Like this. You always say, don't you? It's champagne taste with lemonade money.
Last weekend, she wanted to put a fish tank in.
Oh no, that would be really nice. See all the fishies sort of swimming. But I thought they could go nice. It'd go in the wall, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And he did say it wasn't that expensive.
As long as you clean it.
This project is truly epic.
Hello.
My doorbell. They're extending down, sideways and up, and I want to find out more about their plans. Well, I tell you what, it is absolutely massive up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big space.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So this, I mean, the amazing master suite and the basement.
Yeah.
What's the budget?
We've put aside about 300,000 for the whole lot, including actually fitting out the kitchen. So hopefully we'll come in on budget.
Yeah, it's quite tight, but we have a bit of a buffer in there.
Yeah.
But,
What sort of 10% or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
About that.
Yeah.
sounds sensible.
Yeah.
What are your fears about this? Because this is a huge project you're taking on.
We are worried. We've never done a big project like this. You know, all we've ever done before is conservatory.
There's a lot of unknowns.
But the carrot at the end of all this, the potential prize, is certainly worth the potential heartache.
Well, that's the hope. Yeah, I think.
It will work out. Don't worry, darling. We will get there.
Andy and Carol have a budget of £300,000, which breaks down as £160,000 for the building costs and £140,000 for all the finishings, fixtures and fittings. They also have a contingency fund of £30,000 and want all the work to be completed in just 6 months. Their grandiose plan starts with excavating underground to the side of the house to create a 1,000 square foot basement. This gargantuan space will be divided into a utility room, a gym, a home cinema and a music room. They'll also be extending and renovating their kitchen, and up in the loft they'll be converting the space into one huge master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom and dressing room. So Carol and Andy are taking on a huge project. They're spending £300,000 on their family home, and after speaking to them, I get the impression that they may well be dipping into their contingency fund of 10%. The pressure, I'd say, is well and truly on the builders. The build starts with digging out the garden for the basement. Andy and Carol have hired Bell Installations for this ambitious project.
Biscuit.
And the team is headed up by David Harvey.
It's going to be ginormous. It's a fantastically exciting project, and it's always the push to realise the dreams of the clients at the end of the day.
And of course, Carol's dreams are very specific.
You have to have what
I have
you want.
utility room.
Yeah.
He has gym,
Yeah.
and the kids are going to have a little bit of a discussion about the old cinema room and what they want for that.
There's multiple clients involved in this.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm
And you have to
fully
keep them
aware.
all happy. That's your job, and you'll succeed.
Hopefully.
To create the basement, David's team must remove nearly 500 tonnes of earth to reach Carol's desired depth of 4.7 metres. As well as costing £40,000, this process carries a high element of danger.
It's quite difficult because the ground is made up of London clay and we have localised collapses. We have to move slowly and gingerly out to protect the house up.
But with so much earth now gone, Carol's started to worry and has noticed some concerning signs of movement.
I've been speaking to David about it. We've had some cracks appear around the house, which is what he would expect. So I'm just putting some stickers up here just to keep an eye out on these cracks that are occurring and make sure there's nothing untoward going on.
The cracks are everywhere, and so are Carol's stickers.
And they're all colour-coded. I put the dates of when I saw the cracks appear, you know. Driving Andy mad.
She's gone crazy with little stickers on cracks. So.
Oh, and I love it. I love it.
Well,
All those-
I can live with the cracks. It's the stickers that are driving me mad. So.
The house is now effectively standing on the edge of a cliff, so David and his team are using a technique called underpinning. This enables them to build a wall underneath the existing foundations so they can create a large basement with plenty of head height.
This is the final part of the underpinning process. So the concrete comes up and is poured into the top of the shutter. It's really important that we get this right as it holds the house up.
So we're 8 weeks in now and the builders have started. Now there's been some digging, well according to Carol, a lot of digging. I'm here to find out how they're getting on.
Here we are.
Oh, hello. Right. Crikey. Time to get in there. Because Andy and Carol's garden will be replanted over the basement, the builders have to dig much deeper than usual. Goodness me. That is...
It's good.
So, I mean, it's... When you first saw it like this, were you not daunted?
Yeah. Well, when you see your house sitting on the edge of a hole, you do get a little bit worried.
This is when you really have to
Yeah.
buy in to the trust of your builders, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Definitely,
Absolutely, yeah.
definitely.
Where am I stood in a few months' time?
Right.
Yeah, I think you're stood a few...
It's a negotiation time, isn't it, really? And the negotiation comes on how much space does Andy want for his gym? How much space do I want on my utility room?
Well,
So we shall see.
so how long have you been discussing this?
Well, we haven't really just started.
I think we'll just wait till we see the size.
I'm glad to see you're both in great spirits, because this would worry and daunt a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's coming on well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's trouble on the horizon.
It's going to turn to horrible rain tonight, and then we've got rain for the whole rest of the week.
The whole build grinds to a halt. And even when the rain stops, the digger can't be moved because of the thick, sticky clay.
When do you think we'll be able to use our digger machine again?
Long-range weather forecasts are saying we should get some drizzle and some showers, but that's not meant to scare you.
Right, OK.
All the rain has made the ground very unstable, which has had alarming repercussions.
And we had a collapse that just kept running and running through here.
Because obviously our house is still standing, so that's the important thing.
But having had enough of living on a building site, a family holiday couldn't have come at a better time. Andy and Carol from Enfield in North London are stretching their house to the max by extending up into their loft and down into the ground.
Well, we could put our gym out there, and then it was like, oh, we could do a cinema room out there.
But with rain, cracks and collapses, everyone's starting to get a little nervous.
Yeah, well, when you see your house sitting on the edge of a hole, you do get a little bit worried.
Carol and Andy have now been building for about 5 months. Carol,
Yes?
this is big, isn't it?
Do you think so?
This is massive.
We're taking over the world. It's world domination.
Lead the way. And I've come to check on the progress.
My husband sort of feels that this isn't big enough for him.
What? So this space isn't big enough for Andy's gym at the moment?
No. No.
How many machines does he want in here?
I don't know.
But Andy's gym is only a small part of their master plan.
How exciting.
It isn't all going to be cinema here, is it?
Well, the idea is to put a nice little bar over there for the husband to keep him entertained and happy, you see. And then here, we're going to make that into, he calls it the drum room, but nobody plays the drums in the family.
Right. So where's the cinema screen going to be?
Hopefully it'll be here. But this is quite a nice sort of size, so this will be good when it's all done.
It's not a little size at all, is it? It's like going to Gulliver's Kingdom. But taking on such a massive project isn't without its difficulties. And with just a month to go before all the building work was scheduled to be finished, there's clearly a lot that needs to be done. So I wanted to catch up with their builder, David. Now, when I first came here, you were getting on famously with Carol. I mean, she was like your weekday wife, really. She looked like she was fussing over you as much as anything else. How's that relationship gone on with Carol, Andy and yourself? Because it's a massive job and they're living on top of it.
It's like any relationship, really. There are moments when it's strained and there are moments where it's easygoing. But it is very, very difficult when you've got your clients living on site, because some things that people don't know don't hurt them. If we have a collapse, she sees it, she worries about it, you know, calls all her friends up. Oh God, this is happening. Did you experience this? What do I do? Should I trust them? And it is a massive thing to trust us with. I mean, we've held up that side of their house.
Let's talk about this schedule a little bit, because it's a massive job. I think when I spoke to Carol and Andy initially, they were talking about we'd like to be in before the real depths of winter started. That doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
We're still finished 3 weeks into November.
Right.
Pretty much guaranteed.
Because, well, a good look, because it's such a grand scale. I know it's going to look amazing when it's done. So David's obviously confident that he's on target. And a few weeks later, it's the moment that Carol's been looking forward to, as they're about to pour the concrete lid, which will create the roof for their new basement.
Today is a really exciting day here in the Cowan household. We are going to get the lid for our basement to go on, so we're really looking forward to that, aren't we, guys? Yeah. Aren't we? Yeah. Yeah.
To make the roof for their basement, they're building a steel cage into which they'll pour 50 tonnes of concrete. But with the concrete due to arrive this afternoon, they're rapidly running out of time.
If we can't pour it, it's a big problem, because one, we have to pay for it, and then on top of that, you have to pay for the cost for it to be sent away and dumped.
Right.
The last thing Carol wants is any costly delays.
Fact.
So, David, how far are we from completing so we get the pour done?
It's 11 o'clock, the pour's at 2, and we've probably got 6 hours worth of work to do before we pour.
No.
No. We've got, I don't know, probably a little bit left to do. Right, can you speed up with what you're doing, please, mate? Come on, I need help. I'm not doing this on my own.
To make sure that the concrete doesn't spill out all over the garden, they're propping up the sides with wooden stakes.
If it comes out the side, then we lose the pour. The job is an absolute nightmare from there on in.
The concrete's now arrived.
Right, I'm going to cut more of these. I want them banged in.
And it's become a race against time.
Can you plug it in? Thanks.
And as the pour begins, it looks like it's all going to plan. But relief soon turns to dismay when Carol finds out there's another problem.
We're not sure how we've ended up with a little bit less, but we have a little bit less, so we just need to fill that area in on Monday morning. But it is a pain in the backside because we've got to get another pump out here and redo that section.
It's just another delay, which is something which we didn't really want, but never mind.
Not having enough concrete to complete the job means that yet again it's another setback for Andy and Carol, and a disappointing end to a frustrating week. When I first met Andy and Carol, they told me of their hugely ambitious plans to stretch their house in every way possible. So today I'm here to see just how they've gone. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was about to say, how's it all going? But I can see. How are you, Carol?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, bit of a nightmare.
Not finished.
Not finished.
Right.
There's a lot that's not been achieved, unfortunately. So.
Oh, crikey.
Never mind.
You still smiling, or is that like a win?
Missing.
A wince? Right.
Do you want to go have a look?
Yes, please.
Yeah? Come on then, follow us round.
Right. Well, sometimes when building projects start to develop, they start to shrink in size.
Yeah.
This looks no smaller. It still looks like a mammoth project, doesn't it?
Yes, pretty big.
This room is going to be what?
Yeah, this is the extension to the kitchen. So you can see the hole in the wall there. The kitchen's on the other side. That's obviously all going to be opened up. And this will be an area for a dining table, maybe some sofas. There's a good view over the garden.
An area for a dining room. For who? King Arthur? This is massive.
Listen, he comes from an Irish family,
Oh,
and
there
I've
you
got
go, then.
Mediterranean. They're huge.
What about the loft? God, I've forgotten all about the loft.
We are not going to have probably sufficient money to actually do the loft itself. It will be just a structural thing.
You're going to do the basic minimum for the loft, the actual fitting it all out. That will come sometime in the future.
Yeah.
I'm dying to see what's underneath this lid,
Okay.
because this is when the real luxury was coming into
Yes.
this project, wasn't
That's
it?
right.
Yeah.
It's like going down into the abyss.
It's going to look beautiful when it's finished. I promise you, Johnny. I really do.
I can hear an echo.
Great, isn't it?
This is massive.
Ceilings are high, aren't they?
It's going to be lovely.
We're standing in the gym.
Okay.
Okay, so it comes up to this wall. I think it's about 21 feet long, is that right? Something
It's
like
up for discussion,
Up for
Andy,
discussion,
isn't it?
Yeah. There's going to be shower and toilet and sink. So a separate room for that, and then at the far end is the utility room.
Which seems to shrink all the time.
I can't see much shrinking going on here. And then
That'll be the cinema room.
I almost want this country to go to war, because I know we'll be safe here.
You will?
This is amazing. Why isn't it finished?
We parted company with the original builder, so he's no longer involved.
That cannot have been an easy decision to make.
No.
I think it was probably just over-optimistic.
Well, you were, or the builder was?
Well, I think the builder was. I think there was, it was obviously it's a very wet summer. There was a lot of issues with the clay collapsing, and just, I guess, not realistic about what really had to be done. So, parted ways. So we thought it was the right decision for us.
Moving forward, when can we think about finishing this off? When is it going to happen?
Hopefully by March.
Is that a realistic proposition? You're going to be done here in 3 months?
Yeah, it should be.
Partway through their build, Andy and Carol decided they needed some independent expertise. And as a result of that advice, they've installed supporting steel beams. They've now got a new project manager to help move their project forward. But all of this has had a knock-on effect not only on their end date, but also on their budget. Well, as you can see, Andy and Carol's project is still very much a building site. But if you'd like some hints and tips on keeping any potential scheme you've got planned on target, why not visit our website at lovehome.co.uk. So, the building is still going on.
Yeah.
We're seriously behind. How has that affected the budget? Your initial budget was 330 grand.
We've spent it all. It's all gone.
Really?
Yeah.
You're joking?
No.
Oh. How much is it going to cost to finish what you've started?
I don't know.
Well, we do have a rough idea. I would guesstimate 70.
An extra 70?
Yeah, probably.
It's tough at this stage because there's so many variables, but you're estimating this is going to finish at £400,000. How's it been? I mean, have you coped?
I mean, it's been stressful. And there's been times when I've just had enough and regretted starting, with hindsight. And then there are times I look at it and think, OK, we're making progress. Yeah, it's going to get done and at our own pace, and it'll be worth it in the end. Yeah, so I'm much calmer now.
You came to a crossroads and you had the choice of making a fundamental change or carrying on as is. Are you happy with your decision?
Definitely. Because sometimes things happen and it isn't anybody's fault. And you know, you need to work at it. It's a bit like a marriage, you know. It doesn't always work, you know, but you'll keep working at it, yeah? So, but I think the thing is that there is a limit, though, that you when you reach that limit, you really have to say, well, no, enough is enough and let's stop.
Look, I can't wait to see how it's done. So please keep in touch. Let me know how it all goes, but best of luck. Well, having looked around what is essentially still a building site, and after a fairly candid conversation with Andy and Carol, I don't think there's any denying their sheer determination and perseverance to get this project finished. But let's face it, there's still a long way for them to go. But when that basement is finally completed, they will have a truly stunning family home.